Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the second video in the series of building the Extra 330 RC airplane. I wanted to show you what progress I've made since the last video and then tell you what the next steps are. So let's go ahead and start. I basically finished the wings, the elevator, and the rudder. Let's look at the rudder. So if you look here at the hinge, and let me expand this and show you what I've done here. I've created holes in the rudder, or a hole in the rudder, so that you can print this hinge separately, then slot it in. And I've tried actually printing this first part of the rudder, and this hole is fully printable and works perfectly this way. Furthermore, I've split the rudder into two parts to make it easy for you to 3D print it. And let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna expand this. I've split it into two parts. I'll take the first part, I'll move it up, and you can see that I've cut it into two pieces, and I've created alignment tabs. And those tabs will go into alignment holes on the second part, which would make it really easy to print it and glue it together, align it and glue it together. The other thing I've done is I've designed small slots for nylon hinges, and those hinges are perfectly 3D printable if you have a TPU filament, which I have. I've actually designed a TPU hinge that I can insert here and glue with CA. So you can see one slot here. This is the second slot, and this is the third slot. And again, I've tried this. I kind of printed like a mock rudder, and I've inserted the TPU hinge in it. I've put some CA glue, and it works perfectly. Okay, now let's go to the elevator. Same thing for the elevator. I've made a hole for the horn, for the servo horn. Let me take it down and show you. You can see the hole here. Again, fully 3D printable. It's 3D printer friendly. And I've created this arc here, this hole, which traces an arc in the fuselage, because I'm gonna basically control the elevator using one servo, which is gonna be mounted here. And then I'm gonna connect both elevators with a spar. And if you look here, you'll see the servo mount. So you just plug in the servo here, and you will have a hole in the fuselage that this servo mount will go into and gets glued, and then this servo would connect via the push rod to the servo arm and will control basically both elevators. Same thing for the rudder. I have basically put a servo mount here, and then you would basically mount the servo. There's a hole in the fuselage here. You're gonna basically push it in, glue it, and then connect the rudder servo with the push rod to this horn. I've done the same thing also to the elevator. I've basically cut it into two parts for ease of printing, and same thing here. Let me pull this apart. I've created alignment tabs so that you can basically align it easily when you want to glue it. So you print the elevator in two parts, you put glue here, you align it, and that's it. Really easy. And same story for the elevator. I've created the slots for the TPU or nylon hinges, 3 of them. Let's go now to the wing, to the main wing. As you can see, the wing is quite long. So I've split it into 3 main parts. Even the aileron is split into 3 main parts. And same concept as the elevator and the rudder. I've created slots for the nylon hinges. And what I've done here, as you can see here, same as the rudder and the elevator, I've created a hole here, or a slot, for the horn to go in, but I've also created a hole for the servo here. And you basically mount the servo on this servo mount, which is designed specifically for the kind of servos that I have. And then you glue the mount on top of this hole, and you have a working servo for the aileron. And the other wing is just a mirror of this wing, so you can see the servo hole, servo mount, the horn, and the wings. Also, the right wing is split into 3 main parts. I'll just remove one to show you it's the same concept. I'll pull this away, or I'll move it away, so you can see that, you know, it has alignment tabs. Same thing with holes on the other side, so that you can glue it very easily. So that's my progress so far. Now the next step, before going to the next step, this first part was relatively easy. You know, just create slots for the nylon hinges, you know, servo horns, cut the wings up so that they're 3D printer friendly. Now the next part, which is the challenging part, is the fuselage, because my plan is to hollow the fuselage so that I can print it using one wall, one perimeter only. However, I need to create a support structure inside the fuselage, because on that structure you need to rest so many things. Like, for example, this gear needs to rest on a really sturdy support structure. Same thing for the wings. I'm gonna create a spar, a hole for the spar, and this spar needs to go through a rigid support structure. Same thing for the electronics and the battery. I need to create some form of a tray that rests on some form of a rigid support. And this support structure needs to extend from the front all the way to the back. So what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna cut the fuselage into, let's say, 4 different sections. Each section is primarily is going to be printed using one wall only to make it as light as possible. But within this section, you will have like ribs to support what I've just discussed, like the battery, like the front gear and other stuff. So that would be my next step. And after I'm done with the fuselage, I'm going to basically just 3D print the cowl, which is going to, the cowl is easy. It's going to be printed with only one wall to make it as light as possible. And so also, before I forget, I need also to 3D print the motor mount, which I have not done yet. So I guess what is still pending is the fuselage, the cowl, and motor mount. So this is the update as of today. This project is progressing in a very nice way. I would appreciate if you have any ideas for me, any comments around, you know, how to design a support structure for the fuselage. I would appreciate if you have any ideas and if you share them with me in the comments section. That's it from my side. Thank you very much, and you know, please smash those like and subscribe buttons. This would help this channel a lot. Please, stay put. I'm gonna basically continue working on this, and when I finish the fuselage, I'll basically post another video to again show you the progress that I've made. Thank you very much, and have a lovely day.